Hello there, folks. Welcome to the Lantamer stream. It is Thursday night, Friday Eve, aka, and good to have you folks. Hope you're having a good week. And man, we've almost made it through the week. So let's talk a little bit about my progress on the CCIE. Written, this will be brief, folks. I'm not doing any labs on stream tonight, but I will talk about a lab or a couple labs that I have worked on. It's day 291, 53 days till the written exam. As I go along, I feel like more and more that I definitely do want to attempt. Like, I don't want to reschedule that day if I can. I would really like to go into the holidays, part of the year, with a pass. So, you know, maybe a week or two, but right now it's scheduled, I think, November 12th. So, you know, that's what I'm hoping for. Wallpaper of the day, NGC. New generation catalog, I think is what that is, number 2371. This is from Judy Schmidt on Flickr. Really beautiful Hubble images that have been compiled. Cool stuff. And let's talk networklessons.com. So I finally got through the layer 2. And the last two were pppoe and then PPP multilink and interleaving, which I thought I could do this on the IOSV image, but I think you have to have serial links. I have a Dynamips image. I just did not import it with the right cards to support serial ports. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to let this go. You know, we've got the pppoe part done. I figured out what I was doing wrong there. By the way, I created a new repo called reference configs. So it's here, and what I thought is I struggled with the config a little bit because this config can change for pppoe depending on your image. And I wanted to kind of build a set of configurations that I may reference later. Like, this is the quick config to do pppoe, right, between two links. So I'm actually just sharing that out there. Mouse is locked up here for a second. Not sure why. But I thought I'd make that available. I can reference it later. And once I pass the written and I want to go to practicing speed drills on configs, that's kind of where I want to go to just practice. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. On GitHub, for example, this is my local copy of the repo. Reference configs. Right now I've got pppoe in there. And why is this opening in Xcode? Okay, Mac, come on now. I don't want to load this in Xcode. Not sure why that would make the most sense to do that. I edited here, but anyway. So this is a README file. These are reference configs have been validated using IOSV images. Unless otherwise indicated. Configuration service text reference for speed drill practice. Validation of a working, proven configuration in the lab. Quick reference for new builds, POCs, or even production troubleshooting, right? So I know that this is a reference working configuration of pppoe. So I'm going to just add as I go here, you know. This is the client. Yet again, the Mac sometimes struggles to pick the right... Not intuitively kind of know. Mac's got a lot figured out, but this is one thing that it sometimes struggles with here. So reference configs, pppoe, client, and router. This is not an easy config. Like, and again, I don't think I'll need to memorize this for the actual lab, although I did see it in the walk-in self-paced labs. Like, there was a section with a BBA group and multiple links that I had to configure. So I know that's an older version of the lab, but anyway, it's here in case I need it. And I'll add those as I go. And of course, that is publicly available. Anyone who wants to use it, you're welcome to grab the config there. All right. A little frustration here sometimes with I'm just a regular user for some of these apps, and it seems that some things are not as intuitive as I would like them to be. Anyway, so here's where I'm at on the networklessons.com. That's a lab I'm building, yes. Let me pull it up here. I've got it up here somewhere. Or thought I did. Here we go. So right now I got through, again, layer 2. Now we're on layer 3. And just going over some basic IPv4 addressing and subnetting. I'm decent at this. I'm not super fast. But like I just did the route summarization, and I was able to do that pretty quickly. It's the kind of thing that once you get at CCNA level, it took me a while to sort of, for things to click in when I was getting ready for the CCNA. As a matter of fact, I took the CCNA without really knowing what a Cisco exam is, thinking it was like an IBM exam or a vSphere or other types of exams. Not the vSphere is super easy. But I just kind of walked in there, you know, having done a little bit of study, and got embarrassed. So one thing I learned really quickly is that time is very important. So I had to get much faster at subnetting. In fact, I played the subnet game. I had that on my phone for a while, and that really helped me, right? So I'm skipping through this. I'll probably do a proxy ARP little lab here. That's why I had this up. I started to build it, and I'll probably do this tonight, time permitting, just because I want to see some PCAPs on that, and maybe do a few debugs on that feature, just kind of dig into that a little more. And then it's IPv6. This will actually be good because I really need some review on like IPv6 summarization, IPv6 EUI64. I need some good hard time like practicing this. And maybe I'll search for a game or something, or some sort of worksheet that I can drill on. I just need to get faster at this. You know, I'm comfortable like typing out IPv6 addresses at the command line, but in terms of converting IPv6, especially we talk like 6 to 4, IPv6 stateless auto configuration, yeah, we'll be spending some time in here for sure before we get to multicast. So probably in the next couple of days, this weekend, we'll be focused on IPv6. All right, we're already to the trivia question. Describe the following MetroE services, their meaning, implement, and whether they are implementation or their implementation, whether they're port or VLAN based. So I don't know if you got any of these kind of in your head, but this is Ethernet private line, right? Ethernet wire service, Ethernet relay service, Ethernet multipoint service, and Ethernet relay multipoint service. And the way I think of these is Ethernet private line is essentially a layer 2 point-to-point, and with no multiplexing of services. I could have that part wrong. We'll see in a minute. Ethernet wire service also, actually this is a, all right, it's been a while since I reviewed these. I'm not going to waste your time, folks. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up in the drill sheet. Okay, I know relay is essentially a VLAN. Yeah, let me just look. Man, it's been a while. It's amazing how quickly you can forget this stuff. ERMS. Okay, this one is the, yeah, layer 2 traffic. I should have just listed those out, layer 2, layer 3. This is layer 2, this is layer 3. Yeah, so this is generally over TDM circuit. And this is also point to point. CES. Customer, gosh, I forgot what that is. Let's look real quick. I feel like I need to look this up. Let's see. Ethernet, private line. Okay. I love it when they... Why would you write an article like this and not explain an abbreviation? Carrier Ethernet services. The lack of good writing in the universe. That's okay. CES, Carrier Ethernet Service. Okay. Interesting. I wrote it there, but it was not really ERS. ERMS. That was a bad acronym to search for. Okay, layer 2 CES. Point-to-point VLAN service. Connects layer 3. Yeah, layer 3 point to point. I knew that. Okay, this is a layer 2. Yeah, this is a layer 2 point to, or multipoint service. And this is a layer 3 multipoint service. Okay, and here's the port configuration, whether it's port-based or VLAN-based. Generally, you can tell by relay. So if it says relay, that's VLAN. Sorry, this is VLAN. And VLAN based. There you have it. And let me throw out a quiz for tomorrow to test your memory here. Yeah, I need to study these more, for sure. Okay, here's a good one. ipv6 multicast. Actually, this will be a trivia for Saturday. I don't know. I may stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my off day, but I may stream anyway. I'm in the mood. So ipv6 multicast. How many addresses can you list? Okay. So I'm going to give you a hint here, right? 224.0.0.1 is the all multicast hosts. How many of these can you list? And I've got here on the drill sheet, I have quite a few. Probably not even as many that will be needed for the exam, but I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many out of 12 can you list without Googling it? Let's see, folks. See what you got. Think of them in your head. Maybe try to list them out on a notepad or piece of paper. And then you go to Google or watch my stream on Saturday and see how you did. All right, I have just one other link, folks, for tonight. This is the CICD. This has been out a few days. But if you're doing any sort of agile automation, which I am definitely working on, like today I did several pulls from a repo, and then I actually did some updates. I got to do some more C# code today, which was very intimidating. and very adventuresome. But and I'm a little tired, to be honest. Like there was smoke coming off of my brain because it was complicated, even at the level that I was working on. So, which is a very basic level. So anyway, CICD process is very important, and this is a really good explanation for the point of view of networkers, because it's I think done by DevNet, and Hank Preston does some really good instruction on DevOps practices, and he goes over kind of in which there's a product I did not know about that apparently that has been in use for years that can be used to deploy configurations to Cisco gear that has been used in a CICD type of process by service providers for updating, thousands and thousands and thousands of devices, which makes sense that they would already have something like this in the service provider sector. And now they're kind of bringing this into the enterprise and making it a little more practical for enterprises to, to use. So it was very interesting. I highly recommend it. It's like a 30-40 minute video, but definitely recommend. So that's all I got tonight, folks. Very quick, like we said, relatively quick. Keep on keeping on. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Been pretty active on Instagram and Twitter lately. I'm trying to post at least once or twice a day. And I've had some good content just from working on the labs. Some, I'll post PCAPs. I'll post little challenges here and there. I'll post little video clips of features of products that I'm learning about. Today, I actually learned about Fiddler, and it was used in sort of some testing we were doing for some code that was being written for a web-based app. Really cool stuff. Acts as sort of a local proxy on your machine. It helps you troubleshoot, HTTP-based traffic. Fascinating. As a matter of fact, the one development scenario is to load oftentimes these days to me it reminds me of the way it used to be when you worked on your car. Like when you worked on your vehicle, a lot of people, when it had just a carburetor in it, a lot of people felt like they could work on their own vehicle, do their own parts replacement, do their own maintenance. And nowadays it's really hard because everything is very computerized and modularized and complicated. And when I was, being introduced to some of these coding schemes and the way things work, man, it's complicated. There's so many different tiers nowadays. For example, you might have a service fabric cluster. Especially, .NET, it's very common to use service fabric. Well, you can install that on your local machine and send traffic through it as if you were using service fabric cluster with 100 nodes behind it. Fascinating stuff. I won't get all the details there, but definitely learning a lot. And as I learn those types of things, I'll throw tidbits out there on social media. Give us a like, a follow. And if you have an Amazon Prime account sitting around, you also get one free Twitch Prime account subscription a month. Feel free to use that here if you have it just laying around. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the support to the community. And hey, folks, tomorrow is Friday. So let's take advantage of Thursday night. If you have time tonight to work on your labs, on your study, reading, whatever it is you're doing, trying to get that number, or get that next cert. Go for it, folks. I'll try to encourage as much as I can, and we'll encourage each other. Thanks so much for all the support again, and we shall see you here on Saturday, if not earlier, here on the Lantamer stream. Thanks for stopping by.